What's up everyone, this is Pooka bringing you another game from the Pokemon trading card game online. The coolest program in town. If you haven't tried it yet, what are you waiting for? Get on here and start playing. So this time around I'm going to be playing what seems to be the most popular deck so far in this format, which is Eelektrik. Now this can be run several different ways. You can have, well, most of them have Zekrom because he just kind of goes with the deck. But you can have stuff like Rayquaza, whether it's the shiny one or the EX, both are very good. People can play Zekrom EX, they can play Mewtwo, they can play all sorts of stuff. And we'll see what my opponent is playing. Looks like this might be a mirror match. So I do start off with 3 Dynamos, which is perfect, but I'm going second, which is not so perfect. And we'll see what differences we have between our lists. This could be an important thing to watch throughout the game. A lot of people run Mewtwo's. Looks like we're both running Rayquaza. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this does play out. So he's going to lead off with a Juniper, discarding an Eelektrik and a Lightning Energy. So that's a pretty fair start from him. And the Eevee Light on the Rayquaza, somewhat important. The only way it won't be important is if I just knock it out with my own Rayquaza, which certainly can happen. A lot of stuff can happen in these mirror matches when you bring N into the picture, when you bring Raikou EX into the picture, and yeah, pretty much anything can happen, and I wouldn't rule anything out. So Eelektrik is interesting because, like I've said, so many different things can happen with it. I could Juniper here, but I'm very wary of discarding the Super Rod and the Fire Energy now. So I'm actually going to N. I assume my opponent has another supporter. He might not. It's okay, we'll just play the N. And it looks like I don't have much of anything here. So I'm just going to have to live with attaching and using Thunder Wave this turn. A very poor start besides the triple Dynamo. It says what you're going for turn 1, but you'd like to get some Lightning in the discard as well. So I'm just going to have to Thunder Wave. And I do get heads for Paralysis. So he's going to need a switch in order to attack this turn, in addition to some other stuff, like an Eelektrik, and yeah. So we'll see exactly how this plays out. Right now he drops down the Zekrom with a Lightning, so he's going to need 2 Eelektriks, another Lightning in the discard pile, and a switch in order to Bolt Strike me this turn. Doesn't seem too likely, and yeah, he doesn't do anything. So my opponent, yeah, didn't do anything, which makes me weary of playing End, but once again, this is like a hand you don't want to Juniper away. And a random receiver, the only thing that's going to improve my hand is a Juniper. 2 switches, those are going to be important later on. You involve Catcher. Catcher's always important. So yeah, I'm just going to have to end once again. Random receiver, I like to keep those in my deck for later. This time I'll just play the random receiver, hopefully get a Juniper. Okay, I do get a Juniper. I could bench the Rayquaza, but that is an extreme risk, just because it could be Catchered out. If he gets 2 Eelektriks, a Catcher, a Fire, that could be extreme trouble for me. So it's not something I want to bench if I don't have to. At the same time, I might just have to, just to drop the Fire on it. It takes so much for him to knock this out. My hand's not that great. I think I'll just attach another Lightning to the active. I don't want to do that either. So I'm actually just going to Thunder Wave again, and I get Tails. So this is getting really complicated. I really don't like my hand right now. He plays another Eevee Light on that Zekrom. So he could Bolt Strike me this turn. It's going to cause some problems. Second Eelektrik. I'm going to hope that he plays an N, to be honest. I just get in weird spots here where I don't have quite enough to get knockouts. And I don't have quite enough. I have bad cards that I'm trying not to Juniper away as the game goes on. So I'm going to be under lots of pressure right here. And there I get another Juniper. Not exactly what I'm hoping for, but I'm gonna have to just kind of go for it right now. I'm gonna have to get lucky to get anything going this turn. But I'm going to Juniper. And it looks like I whiffed big time on that. And yeah, my opponent says uh-oh, because he realized what could have happened there. But nothing actually did happen. So it looks like this turn will produce nothing for me. I'm actually just going to retreat to Mewtwo, because I do have the max potion. I don't want a Super Rod. I'm going to end my turn. The odds of him knocking out my Mewtwo this turn are slim to none. And hopefully I can pull off some magic here. So right now, I'm in quite the precarious position. He puts a lightning on the Rayquaza. And we will see if anything else happens this turn. Now, he could just end up Bolt Striking me, but he's going to catch her, bring out a Dynamo. That is bad news for me. That's what I wanted to avoid, actually. And at this point, I'm not sure what I can do about my position. Just kind of need to hope for an Eelektrik and a switch. So I will Super Rod here, shuffle in 2 Dynamos and a Lightning. Drop a Fire on the Mewtwo. Actually, I can't do that. I need to drop a Lightning on the Rayquaza. We're going all in, folks. Juniper, we need a switch and an Eelektrik. And we got neither. Actually, we got the Eelektrik. So, I will bench another Dynamo. We'll drop an Ultra Ball here. Random Receiver and Sky Arrow Bridge. For Eelektrik. So, I've only used 1 catcher to this point. Not too concerned. I will Dynamotor though. Put the Lightning onto Rayquaza. And I'm going to have to pass. It's going to take a lot for my opponent to knock this out. Certainly could happen. Now it would take an Ultra Ball. Discarding a Lightning. And then a Fire Energy. And a Switch. So a lot of stuff needs to happen. It looks like he doesn't have any of it. Let's see, my opponent's only used 1 catcher. He's not used many supporters to this point. And alright, I draw that catcher. That is very important. Going to Random Receiver, hoping for an N. I'll take really any supporter at this point. Bianca works too. Alright, so let's drop a double colorless on the Mewtwo, catcher the Rayquaza, and Bianca for 5. No max potion, unfortunately. A level ball for another Dynamo. Get that Eelektrik into play. Now that Mewtwo is going to be a big target on my board, unfortunately. But what can you do but Dragon Burst? Take down this Rayquaza for 220. And now I just kind of have to hope my opponent doesn't have much. I'm going to get 2 prizes here. There's still only 1 Lightning in there. But, you know, anything could happen once you get a bunch of Eelektriks out. There's no telling what my opponent will do next. And quite frankly, I'm in trouble still. I need probably to land like a catcher on an Eelektrik and then an N, and then start doing work with Raikou EX to Volt the bench. I just fell behind a couple prizes early on, and my opponent, I mean, he doesn't have the best hand apparently, but he's got enough of a board position. He went first. I whiffed on a couple crucial turns. He didn't have a perfect game either in terms of drawing stuff, but I'm definitely in trouble depending on what he does this turn. I'm probably going to end up losing if I don't draw any max potions. I had to get rid of one at the beginning, which was an unfortunate circumstance. I've already used the Super Rod. And, you know, what's going to happen is I just have these Pokemon with just tons of damage on them. They're EXs. He's only played one catcher. There's another one. He's actually going to target down an Eelektrik, which is an interesting choice. I think I would have gone for the Mewtwo for sure. It's 2 prizes to take. And it looks like I will be just fine here for now. Maybe he just thinks the Mewtwo will always be there, ready to be knocked out. And there's a max potion on the Zekrom. Okay. That will make it more difficult for me to knock out. Let's see if he has the energy from hand. Yes. And yeah, he's gonna Bolt Strike. So now, let's see. I don't really have anything with Free Retreat. I'm gonna have to promote Rayquaza. I get an Ultra Ball. Let's see, does that help me at all? Yeah, it can get me a Raikou EX. I can start picking off benched Pokemon. That'll be important. Could attack with Mewtwo, but then he just gets knocked out. It's not really the route I want to go. So I can really play my hand down to 0 and just go for Raikou. Go for broke. That might be my best option at this point. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to have to discard the Zekrom EX. I can't really knock out his active unless I go with Mewtwo. And that's just not a good plan. Let's grab Raikou. And then Level Ball for another Eelektrik. So we're going to power this up. A couple of Dynamotors. And at this point I'm going to need N to help me out. Drop another Lightning here. I have way too many Pokemon that are giving up 2 prizes for my own comfort here. And we're going to Bolt and knock out one of those Eelektriks, take away the energy acceleration. Not a very helpful prize, but that's alright. Now if he doesn't take a prize this turn, I might be okay. He's going to need a catcher to take a prize. At this point he's played 2. There's no guarantee that he has another one. And if he just uses Outrage, that won't be enough to set me up for a knockout. And if I draw an energy, I'll be able to knock him out with either Mewtwo or Rayquaza. Or, let's see. If I draw a Lightning, I can knock him out with Rayquaza. If I draw a double Colress, I can knock him out with Mewtwo. And he plays another N, so that's good and bad for me. I do draw the Lightning. He's only got 1 Eelektrik in play. Dynamotor, it's good when you have 2 Eelektriks out. When you only got 1, you can't really power up stuff that quickly. And right now, things are looking decent, I have to say. They were looking bad for a while. Now they're looking okay. See if he has a catcher. If he does, he will probably target down Mewtwo. That's going to give 2 prizes. Either that or he could target an Eelektrik. That'll take away my acceleration. That would be a good option as well. But he just Bolt Strikes the active. So I will be able to just knock him out with the Rayquaza EX this turn. See, I don't know. I didn't have to Juniper away any more Rayquazas. That's good. So let's see. How many switches have I played? One. I do want to keep those in my deck just in case of catcher. We will Dynamotor. We'll do 2 to Rayquaza. Since I only need to do 100. Guess we will retreat. Rayquaza as well. Drop a lightning on. Let's see, I can do Raikou or Zekrom. I think I'm going to go with Raikou, and then we'll go ahead and play an N. Let's see, do I want to play the N? I don't actually know. I kind of like the hand. It's not bad. I can always Ultra Ball for something to win the game. And I like having an N for after he knocks out my EX. So I'm actually just going to Dragon Burst for 100. Take this knockout and hope for the best. He's only got 1 Eelektrik out there. There's an Ultra Ball. Let's see what he takes. Another Eelektrik. What's the other card in his hand? Maybe a Juniper? Yeah, that's a Juniper, so I'm going to be in some trouble, maybe. Coming down to the wire here, folks. Let's see, there's a lot of stuff that could happen. If my opponent gets his own Raikou EX, it's not actually going to do much. I could still win the game. If he knocks out one of my Eelektriks, that could be a problem. I might not be able to get the game-winning knockout on an EX. Ooh, if he gets a Zekrom and a catcher, that's going to knock out one of my EXs. That's not good either. So we'll see if he has a catcher. If he doesn't, I'm fairly confident that I'll win the game. There's no real way for him to avoid a loss at that point. But does he have a catcher? If he does, I'll end him to 1 and knock out the Zekrom. And it'll be close. But no catcher, and I'm pretty safe. I don't think I'll lose at that point. There's the catcher. It's gonna go for the Raikou. And take the knockout. Let's just promote. Doesn't really matter what I promote. I'm gonna play Switch probably. I'm least likely to attack with Mewtwo, so we'll shove him up there. Alright, folks. So I'm going to attach the lightning to Rayquaza. And we will Dynamotor 1 to it. Gonna play a Switch and then N. Gotta figure out if I want to do anything before that. Do I want to bench this Dynamo? Probably not. Switch. Trying to think of if it matters if I bench this Dynamo. I might need the bench spot open. So I will go ahead and play N. Put us both I'll put him at 1 card, put me at 2. And I'll just Dynamotor to... Let's see. Might as well just do Mewtwo. And let's Dragon Burst. Knocking out the active. So there's a lot of 2-card combinations he can get to win the game, but it will take a 2-card combination. I mean, it's going to start... He could draw like a Juniper or something. That would be pretty painful. Oh, a Bianca. Uh-oh. This is coming down to the wire, folks. If he draws an Energy and a Catcher, I actually lose. Or a Rayquaza and a Fire. Or a Catcher and... there's only 1 Catcher left. A Raikou and an Energy would also be a loss. So there are many combinations where I just straight up lose the game. Does he have any, though? That is the question. Will I be able to survive the turn? Even if I do, there's no guarantee that I actually win the game. There are many things that can happen where I still lose. Let's see if he has anything. No, looks like he doesn't. Looks like just an Emolga. Wow. If he had the other Rayquaza, I would have lost. What an incredible game. Unless he's slow rolling me, that could be a problem. So, don't know what's going on. If he doesn't have a catcher, I'll win. He's just sending up an Emolga. Not sure what the point of this is. Guess he's just playing out his last turn. Gonna wait. What's going to happen? At this point, I cannot really lose unless he just drops a catcher. And I can actually still lose if he traps an Eelektrik active. But it looks like Registeel and Zekrom. That will wrap up the game, folks. We're just gonna end it off with Zekrom here. Dynamotor twice. 2 Zekrom. Retreat. And that will be the game. Bolt Strike for 240. What a very close mirror match. I didn't know who would come out on top. I had to get pretty lucky to win after that shaky start. But in the end, ended up winning this mirror match. You can see where Rayquaza can be very good, but very risky at the same time. He can give up 2 prizes either way. And Zekrom is still very good. Bolt striking for 120 is devastating, especially if you have Eviolite. And wow. Somehow I managed to win that match. And that is a great game to capture on film to show the complexity of the Eelektrik mirror match. But sometimes it can just come down to what you draw. So thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this game. It's very close. Thanks to ETownMaster for the great match. We're going to have some more videos up soon. If you have any suggestions for videos, please leave them down in the comments. I feel like sometimes I'm just doing the same thing over and over, so if you want to see something new, be sure to let me know, and I will try to do that for you. Thanks for watching. See you next time, folks. I've been Pooka, and I'll still be Pooka, apparently. That's not going to change.